Alright, hello everyone, Internet Tomato here. So I did transmogrify my items to look like Arthur. I do like it still. I did a fair bit of quests. I think I leveled up like 5 times. All I really did was I just slew all of the different bounties except for Bromar. He was a little bit too far, you know. You can see my progress. Went around, slew the different peoples. And yeah, I also did a couple of the druidic shrines. One of them gave me 45,000 experience, quite high, as you can imagine. So yeah, I think that we leveled up 5 times. It was either 4 or 5, maybe even 6, I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track, but I leveled up a bunch. QRKO is about 1,000 steps away, or 700 steps away probably at this point, from coming up and hatching. But I wanted to do something that is an achievement. And I thought I'd do it with you guys because I don't know what happens when you do this. Similar to how you kill Caradoc, it actually kind of changes his voice lines in the future where it's like, oh, you killed me, whatever. I am curious if anything changes if we do kind of cheese this. So what you can do in order to be able to pull the sword from the stone and survive is to essentially take tons and tons of healing potions that you keep taking as you're trying to pull the sword from the stone. You just need tons of them. I don't know the exact number. I've heard that there are already speedruns of this. I don't know if that's true, but I guess that would make sense. So I'm going to eat a couple pieces of food. Kablam, kablam. Switch. Start to pull out.
This feeling... it was so strong, so real.
Oh, that's different.
I remember now. The weight of it. The power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me.
Uh-huh. Why can't I draw it?
A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Bro. Okay. So now we can do the attempt. I didn't know I had to do that little interaction first. Am I still under the effects of the food? It looks like a little. I'll do it one more time. That's fine. Alright. We did it. Wasn't that hard. Was it 5 of them? But then again, I'd use New Game Plus potions. It's like 150 health I'm healing. We did it! Whoa! Excalibur! Can you believe it? We did everything the totally right way.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command.
Mm-hmm.
I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
But man, crazy. Hello.
He was the fire that forged order from chaos. He was the hand that lifted kingdoms, the will that carved a path through darkness.
I never really looked up. Interesting. Okay.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
All right. More memory shards. Hello, Arthur.
Now, I remember.
So you knew all about it.
Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor.
Alright. You really think that experimenting on your men was justified?
Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. Call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something.
Well, you agreed to lie to your people about your role.
I did. But this wasn't about pride. It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that. And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to.
So what did he come up with to win the war?
I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them. Wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did.
What?
He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe.
By the way, when he talks about this, right, I have all, 30 lore videos at this point, so we're 25, I don't know. When he says this doesn't make sense to me. I'm assuming that he's just waxing on poetically, because the Pale Lady is the one that was transforming Arthur into a Four Dweller. So I think one of two things. Either he's just saying that, like, this is, again, that he's waxing on poetically, that what Merlin did and everything, and his wisdom, whatever, blah, 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 was a cornerstone to him becoming a Four Dweller in some way. I mean, who knows? Maybe even the Pale Lady used some of his research to get it done. But it was the Pale Lady who did it. Merlin was dead for quite some time before he started to transform. So it doesn't really make too much sense to me. The other thing is, I guess it is possible that, well, maybe Merlin was, like, strengthening Arthur's human side using the Four Dwellers in some way, whether through potions or some kind of rituals to make his human form stronger. Maybe that's a thing. It's never really written about, but I'm assuming it's one of the two. Not entirely sure. But anyways, does victory erase the price you paid for it?
That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
Even more whispers. So I haven't talked to him since the New Game Plus. I don't know if he says anything. By the way, I did notice, I don't know, I'm assuming that this is a bug, but I cannot use any of the animal shrines.
You've got that look again, like you've seen something you wish you hadn't. Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time?
Merlin and Arthur talking about ancient experiments.
Merlin. Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win.
You know more than you're letting on.
I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea. Immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster.
You didn't end like Seawall.
Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think?
Oh yeah, by the way, you know what, I'll finish this conversation, then I'll speak my mind. But anyways, did Arthur know what was happening?
Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win, and desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar, even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it.
Why didn't you fight back?
Fight back? Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by cleaning up their mess?
The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. I spoke with Arthur. He said he had to do it or humanity would be lost.
Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all, who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive?
Mm-hmm. Well, I assume you still want something from me.
You've seen what they did. What he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this, once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think I'm gonna let you decide Arthur's fate, you're very wrong.
You cannot kill me, and I don't want to kill you. But if you want to fight me now, I'll grant your wish. That's the least I can do.
It's kind of pointless, but... Oops. Yep.
All right, that's enough. You win. This changes absolutely nothing, but I hope you at least feel better about yourself. If you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The Menhir there is failing, and the weirdness is swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield that was given to Palamedes by the king. He was one of the king's finest, a voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
You know, just thinking, I don't even know what Arthur did wrong with Palamedes. Like, I can kind of understand Caradoc feeling slighted about the immortality thing. But the Palamedes situation, I don't think that Arthur did any kind of a sin there, really. It was just like, hey, we disagree, let's part ways. Oh, wow, can you believe him? Can you believe that that was his reaction to his friend? It's like, I don't know. That's a pretty lame reason. The only one that really has any weight to it, in my mind, is the Forlorn Swords. But anyway, what I wanted to say before was that something I did realize, which is another discrepancy. By the way, there's like a dozen of them. I might even make a video about this. But another discrepancy, whenever they're talking, is that if you remember back in the Island Asylum, Caradoc, well, so Caradoc frees you, and then, right, you go through that one section, and then you get to the end of that section, and he talks to you, and he says something, and he says, you know, like, you took your sweet time getting out of there. And then he says something to the extent of, I remember my first time getting out of, or, yeah, my time getting out of the asylum, and what it was like for me. He said something to that extent. And it's insinuated that the experiment that was done on him was done at the Island Asylum, which doesn't make much sense because the Island Asylum wasn't built for, you know, quite some time. It wouldn't make sense that he was experimented on there. And also Merlin was long dead before the Island Asylum was built. Caradoc had already left before the Island Asylum was built. We didn't really have much there at his time being at the court or at the time of Merlin's life. So it didn't really make too much sense to me. And I mean, the only other way is if Caradoc went through a second experiment after Merlin's death that he's not telling us about, but I have my doubts on that one. I think that it was just a mistake in the writing. But anyways, we're gonna sleep, so it is not weird night. Alright, and we did accomplish it, so we can head to Connacht whenever we want. But yeah. So there were a few things I still wanted to do. I wanted to go to Alyssa. I forgot about that. In this one, I do want to have a relationship. What a weird thing to say in a game. I want to have a relationship with Alyssa. And the reason is because you get to have her mansion. And I'm actually pretty... I've mentioned before, but I really was stoked when they said that, oh yeah, you can have a house, you can decorate, you can build stuff. Oh yeah, you can do gardening.
Mother have mercy, not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble?
Yes, sir. You got it. I can try, but no promises.
It's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people.
Yep. Terrible. What happened?
The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of?
Valid. Well, I'll help you fix the deck.
You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems, but it'd be a start. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. The budget's long gone. But if you're interested, I could teach you a thing or two about home decor. Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well, we all have our secrets.
Yeah. That sounds like the plan. You're into home decor.
Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed in a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture. The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit. Where chairs don't wobble, tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds, well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep.
Alright, well, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Mine just happens to be daydreaming about nicer chairs.
Strange. Alright.
See you around.
Yes, see you, Tiernan. But anyways, yeah, when they did, I mean, I've mentioned this a few times, but when they did reveal that we were going to be getting farming and that kind of stuff, I was so stoked, and I was so then bummed when there was nothing. But hopefully with the update, who knows, maybe they added it to it that you, oh yeah, now you actually can at least put stuff in the planters. Come on. Hello.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And I mean clean, not just wiped 3 times with a dirty rag.
Yeah, who are you?
My name is Alyssa Murray, and I'm here with my
Murray.
husband, a very important cloth merchant. But surely you must have heard about our family. Not to brag, but we are rather prominent. I am famed amongst Camelot's courtiers for throwing the most magnificent feasts.
Yeah, your dress is very unique.
Thank you. I designed it myself. I wanted to blend in with the people of the South. The savage tribes, the brave lightkeepers. I wanted to make an homage to them with my new style. And I do believe I've succeeded. I can feel everyone here gazing at me with awe.
Yes, definitely. Everyone says your dress is exquisite.
Give it a few weeks and everyone here will be trying to copy me. It happens in Camelot all the time. It's almost insufferable.
Well, what are you doing in the South?
Well, my Duncan is here on business, of course. A very important contract with the Lightkeepers. I decided to accompany him because I have never been to the South, and I've heard so much about its wild, untamed beauty. So far, it's turned out to be terribly dull. And the smell! It's like stale fish and sweat. Hopefully I don't have to suffer it much longer. Pray, tell me, do you know anyone here who would run a small errand for me?
Yeah, you're in luck. I can do it.
Oh, of course. You know, I've always found talking about money so distasteful. But needs must, I suppose. Don't worry, you'll be handsomely rewarded.
Yeah, just tell me what needs to be done.
You see, I've had my eye on this beautiful abandoned estate overlooking the sea. It's not very far from here, but it's far enough away from all this rabble. If we stay here for a while, I need a place for myself. You understand that, right? The problem is that the manor appears to have some occupants, not legal ones, mind you, who need to be evicted. Forcibly, if there's no other way. You'll do it for me, won't you, dear? Splendid. I can't wait to start decorating. Maybe something nautical, to go with the sound of the waves crashing on the cliffs? Or do you think that's a trifle trite?
All right. Let's get going. I was going to mention something, but now it has slipped my mind. But one thing I was going to say a while back was that, by the way, I already dealt with these guys, but the enemies don't spawn in until after you accept the quest, it appears. But I was going to say that something I did notice is that in the Forlorn Swords memory with Arthur, like whenever you grab the helmet, his crown, yeah, I know I'm overpowered. I know. I get it. But anyways, when I sorry, I just think it's funny. Also, yeah, this stuff does reset every single time you come in here, I think. At least so I think it was in the past. Because it's like every time I talk to Alyssa, everything reset. But anyway. Okay. But anyways, something that did happen was that Arthur mentioned how the Dalriada, I don't remember how he pronounces it, but anyways, that they wouldn't be able to mesh well with Camelot and Timberwall, right? Those are his two examples. But this was another situation where Timberwall did not exist. Timberwall didn't exist for quite some time. It probably didn't start existing until after... wait, I should have gone to the one closer to Alyssa. What am I doing? But anyways, Timberwall probably didn't exist until... probably during the Golden Age, after the War with the Four Dwellers was ended. And then at that point, probably, right? And Arthur might have helped found it, but, right, at that point in time, in that snippet in history, Timberwall did not exist.
Oh, there you are. Look, darling, it's the lovely mercenary I hired to clear out that seaside estate I told you about.
You did what?
Well, you told me to deal with it. So I did. You didn't expect me to just sit on my hands while surrounded by unwashed fishermen, did you?
Look, I'm sorry about my wife. Whatever she told you to do, forget about it. I'll pay you for your trouble.
Well, she was insistent.
Trust me, I can imagine. Unfortunately, she often gets lost in her enthusiasm. We weren't... At least I wasn't planning on staying here any longer than necessary. We have no need for an estate.
Well, that's your opinion. One I simply do not share.
Well, I already did what she asked.
You have? Oh, that's wonderful. I can start planning the welcoming banquet. I'm thinking sea foam made of spun silver? Dancers dressed as alluring sea creatures.
And who are you going to invite, The crabs? None of your friends from Camelot are going to come all this way just to have dinner, are they?
Dear gods, Duncan. You're so plebeian. Of course they will come. Besides, there must be some important people here. Weren't you just talking with them? You can invite them too.
Good luck with that. Are you sure that place is safe now?
Oh yeah, totally. It's perfectly safe, Lady Alyssa.
Oh my, how polite. I wouldn't have expected that from such a vagabond. But no matter, for I now have the delightful task of decorating an entire house.
Marvelous.
Truly it is. Now, we must get in touch with that splendid woodworker from Camelot. You know the one. He made those exquisite cabinets for the Gévaudan.
Gévaudan.
And don't forget to pay the nice mercenary. At least someone in this godforsaken place turned out to be useful.
Yes, dear.
Why don't you come visit us once we're all settled, And don't fret. There's no need to make yourself too presentable. I highly doubt we'll be entertaining any important guests just yet.
All right, the 1%. Let's go. Well, I do want... There's only a couple things I really have a interest in doing here. By the way, one thing I do want to do, I guess I could do it now, is I do want to talk to Goban about going under the Horns of the South into the crypt, because I'm really hoping that they at least added some readables there as to what happened, because it supposedly goes all the way back down to Arthur's day. And that is very interesting to me, because I would really like to see some writings, but there never was any, so that was a bummer as well. I'm hoping that they added something, but probably not.
Bloody hell, look at this! The old place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old coots. They do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls, and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. But I'm not. Oh, shite. I can't even stand to look at it, let alone live here. And who are you? What you want? You another one of Durar's freeloaders?
Durag?
What do you take me for? A senile old idiot? I know that my boy keeps sending all of you little pissants to snoop around his old man. Oh, how worried he must be. Ho ho. How did you all get it into your stupid heads that I am ill, huh? That's bullshit. Everyone's going on about how old Gabon's gonna keel over any time soon. And me? Still here, ain't I? Arseholes. I'm old enough to know what I'm talking about. I served my time, I've lived my life, and now you can all kiss my arse. So there.
You're ill?
I swear, each one's dumber than the last. Listen, they wanted Heber, that healer from the keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to look me over. He did. Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and that was it. Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me. So there's no illness. I'm fit as a fiddle. Good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag me all the time.
Because he's a mute. Yes. Yes. Finley the mute you're talking about. Tell me about your service.
What's with all the questions? Get me a drink and maybe I'll consider talking.
Sure. Whiskey.
So, what was your question?
Yeah, your service.
You see, back in the day, being a keeper was a serious business. Now, don't even get me started. You used to come here with a mission, not to run away from your bloody mother. Nowadays, lads get brought here by their own kin when they've had enough of them, or they think the Orns can hide them from the law. No, back in my day there was none of this scum. I came here to serve. My girl cried when I left her, but I've always known this is where I wanted to be. How was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? By the time the wean was born, I was already planning the lighthouse's construction.
So Dara came here for you?
Heck knows what he came here for. That's not my problem anymore, and I don't stick my nose in anyone else's business.
Well, you went off topic. I was asking about your service.
Why all the poking around? Get me something to drink, and we'll talk.
Yes. Whiskey.
So, what was your question?
Your service.
I'm starting to like you, stranger. And trust me, it's been a long time since I liked, well, anybody. I liked me brothers in arms back in my glory days. Good lads, every damn one of them. Tough as nails, loyal to a fault. A kind of men you'd want beside you in the darkest holes of Avalon. But they're gone now, all of them. The old captain got it in his head to send us down to rediscover some mouldy tunnels under the keep. Damn fool mission that was. We went in together, but I was the only one to come back out. I can still see all their faces when I close my eyes. A hard loss it was, but I'm still here. Though some days I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the tunnels.
Getting a bit curious, I see. Hand me a drink, and I'll answer. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Whiskey.
So, what was your question?
Yeah, the tunnels.
Those tunnels, right. Well, me and the lads went down there to check if we could repurpose them under the Orns. Damn fool mission that was. But here wasn't just some empty caves. There were monsters, straight out of Age of Legends. Sick stuff. Stuff to get under your skin. Looked like... hell, memory's all twisted up now. Like a bloody nightmare mixed with shadows that don't belong. Want to know more? Speak with Fergus. He's in charge of this shit show now. Now, I propose a toast to those lost souls. This one's on me.
Alright, to your brothers in arms.
Peace, you say. Problem is, sometimes I think they never died. They haunt me in my dreams, you know. Bloody bastards. I swear I wanted to go back and retrieve their bodies. But our late captain, make Grindelows piss on his grave, forbade me from going back. But when I drink, I usually pass out, and then I don't remember my dreams. So, I drink. Ah, my brothers deserved better.
Yeah. Alright, Goban. Although they just refund you with some wine. But, so that's done. I do want to talk to Furious eventually, but, yeah, we're going to head over here. I'm assuming I'm going to be ending the episode when I feel like QRKO is probably going to be popping out. We probably can do it already, right? We needed to walk 700 more paces. I think we've done it. At the very least, we're very close. Hey.
There you are, finally. I've been searching everywhere for you. This is a matter of utmost importance. You simply must help me. My Duncan has gone missing, and if we don't find him soon, he might be in grave danger. Please, you have to find him.
No problem.
I can't possibly be a widow at my age. Mourning clothes are dreadfully unflattering on me.
I'll find him.
Marvelous. Here's the letter. All the details should be inside. Now, chop chop, there is no time to waste.
Yes, you got it. Alright, I thought that stuff did respawn in her house. Maybe not. Unless it's like every few days or something. Okay. Let's go. So Duncan is... Where is he? This is probably the closest. The entrance is like over here-ish. So.
You disturbed my peace.
Oh, whoops. That's weird. Don't even ask what that is. I don't even want to know. Anyways. I'll just say it had an interesting location where it was protruding. But anyway. Hello. And another. And two more. Actually, three more. They're just standing there. Gone. Oh, I missed this one. Okay. Maybe we're just slaughtering them. Hey, donkey.
Damn it, I should have guessed she'd hire you. I was hoping she'd notify the keepers and then just forget about me after a week or two.
I gather that you were not kidnapped.
Clearly. I was considering making a deal with one of the local gangs to stage an actual kidnapping, but I thought better of it in the end. They're not exactly a trustworthy bunch. I didn't want to disappear forever, but I was afraid they might do their job a bit too well.
Well, you seem pretty desperate.
Oh, you have no idea. I had to get away before Alyssa drove me completely mad. There's never a moment of peace with that woman. I'm finished with her, with everything. I'm starting anew. Maybe in Timberwall, Farsha, anywhere really. She can do whatever she wants.
Well, why do you want to disappear?
Oh, please, you know my wife. She even dragged you into that entire debacle with the mansion. Now she has decided she wants to stay here, to leave Camelot, leave our entire life behind and move to the middle of nowhere. And I bet in 2 months she'll want to move again, maybe to the Forlorn Swords or somewhere equally absurd. I just can't take it anymore. I'm too old for this. I want a loving wife, a family, some damn stability at last.
Well, why did you marry her in the first place?
When I arrived in Camelot, I had money, but I lacked useful connections. The Morays were an old and well-respected family on the edge of financial ruin. Our interests were aligned. As for Alyssa, she was young, beautiful, and, well, we barely spoke before the wedding. I thought it was their strict traditions, but really they probably didn't want her scaring me off. I hoped she'd settle down eventually, but these people, they're just different. All they care about is outdoing each other.
I get it. Why didn't you leave?
Leaving a woman like Alyssa isn't that simple. Her family would ruin me, and I provided them with the means to do so. Believe me, it was simpler to cut my losses, grab what money I could, and start over as far away from them as possible.
Well, yeah, well, your wife sent me here to bring you back.
Just tell her I'm dead, Say, my body was eaten by bears or something. Please, if I go back, we'll just both end up miserable forever.
Fine. I'll tell her that you got eaten.
Oh, thank you, thank you. You don't know how relieved I am. Trust me, Alyssa will be better off. A young widow who lost her husband in the south will be the talk of the court. She'll find a new husband in no time. Well then, farewell. No offense, but I hope our paths never cross again.
All right. Let's go. Yeah. Alright, so I'm probably going to head back to Alyssa, break the news, because that's the only way to have a relationship with her, is to tell her that Duncan is dead. You can't do it if you tell her the truth. So I shall lie. Oops. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Hello, Woolsey. Is there a second one? Oh, you're right next to me. Ugh. There we go. Alright, let's go. Alright. Yeah, so we'll check with her, and then we'll probably release QRKO from his bonds. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I do think that this is a pretty cool place to stay, this mansion. I do.
Well, you're back, but I see that you're alone. Surely a few mere bandits didn't outwit you.
Duncan is gone. No, sorry, but your husband is dead.
He's... What? But you promised to return with him. And the bandits, didn't they want money? And his body? Surely you didn't just leave him there.
Yeah, there's only a finger.
Oh, gods. That's dreadful. My poor Duncan. Do you think he assumed I wouldn't send anyone for him and attempted to escape on his own? He could be so foolish. Sometimes I felt as though he had absolutely no faith in me. What am I going to do now? Returning to Camelot will be utterly insufferable.
Well, at least you'll be the center of attention.
Indeed. Losing one's husband to bandits in the untamed South does have a certain novel tragedy compared to, say, a hunting accident. Even so, dealing with all those insincere well-wishers who secretly delight in my misfortune is utterly tiresome. I shall miss the simplicity we had here, fleeting as it was.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
This is a nightmare. Ugh. I should begin packing, and something must be done about this house. Goodness, I don't even know where to begin. Would you like it? I could part with it for 500 gold coins. Does that sound reasonable for a house?
What? Okay, I thought that... Okay, I am confused because I was told that the only way to get it was if you had a relationship with her, but maybe that's option 1, and option 2 is buying the house. That does make me wonder, if I do buy it, maybe I don't get quests to fix it up. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why I'm told that. Man, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I'm gonna say they don't need to sell the house. Why can't you just stay?
Stay? And engage in what, precisely? Have you not observed that I lack what one might call practical skills? Aside from my impeccable taste in fashion, that is. I suppose I could open a dressmaking parlor, but where would I even get the materials? Not to mention clientele.
Yeah, well, you could always send samples to your friends at Camelot and start from there.
I suppose you're right. And when I manage to sell my first masterpiece, the patrons will undoubtedly seek me out. Oh, aren't you astute? I must confess, your perceptiveness surprises me.
Well, I can help you with the materials. I tend to collect lots of things.
Really? That would be absolutely marvelous. Well then, I guess I'll think about your offer. Now, would you be so kind as to excuse me? I must begin organizing Duncan's belongings. Indeed. Thank you ever so much.
All right. Well, so I guess I'm assuming that. Yeah. Okay. So things are being weird, but luckily I'm gonna be ending it in a moment. Yeah. So I'm assuming that if I bought the house, what would have happened is I could have edited the inside, but the outside is still run down. Because I was told that you can eventually build up the pier as well as this thingy. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was told. So it's just like this general area can be fixed up and whatever. Which I am interested in that. As I've said, I like the idea of living in Avalon. And this is one of the ways that you can do it, in my mind. But yeah. The well. There are things to dig up back there, but I'm going to see if QRKO wants to come out. Is it time? How do we do it again? Do I have to rest by the fire? Yes. It's happening. He's back. Oh, QRKO. Sleepy. He's sleepy. Hey, little buddy. Hey, buddy. Let's see if we already get the new stuff. Feeding time. We can. Ooh, time to patch us up, little one. What do you do? So cool. He looks different now. Oh my goodness. Best episode ever. Looks so cool. There's multiple eyes, and then we can feed him a vegetable. Parsley. What happens now? Okay, so feeding him a vegetable makes him go back to normal. Good to know. So we have a lot of things. We can feed him iron. Show him your war face. Majestic beast, mandrake. I did pick some up. Let our enemies be frightened of you. Frost grot mucus. Ew. Show me how fiery you can be. So cool. All right, let's give him the sage again. Very cool. Well, that is going to be his change for now. All right. Yeah, I think I will be ending it. QRKO, let's head over here. I want you to be part of this, QRKO. Come on. Come on. Come on. Run faster. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Actually, do I... hard to tell where I want to end it. Where do I want to be looking, QRKO? Man, my little buddy. All right, let's end it here. So, I am going to be ending it. Look at us, still looking like Arthur. QRKO is looking, his eyes are wide open, I gotta say. But yeah, I'm going to be ending it here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Please consider subscribing if you've yet to do so. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I really do hope to see you guys in the next one. So yeah, see you later. Bye-bye.